Hey everybody, what is up? My name is Robert. I live in Vegas and I don't often make videos, but I mean if you're subscribed to me on YouTube, you probably already know that, right? I don't make videos hardly ever anymore. The only times I ever make videos nowadays is when I get inspired. And so every once in a while I get like really inspired to like make a video or start doing like a let's play of a video game, even though I haven't done that in forever. And the last game I started playing was Stranded Deep, uh, or I mean, started doing a let's play of was Stranded Deep, and that went nowhere. But I also have recently been putting up videos of my animals and stuff like that, and so I wanted to show off my latest project. I figured people would be some people might be interested in it because if you have seen me on Facebook, which probably nobody has, um, I've started getting into the hobby of keeping exotic species of animals like tarantulas and stuff like that, and other animals. So like, for example, here we have my grandma stole a pulcher piece. I gotta really put labels on these, because I don't even remember what the scientific name for this one is, and I'm sorry for how dirty these enclosures are. They just tend to get that way, and I haven't cleaned them in a while. So this one is my desert hairy scorpion that I got in an expo. This is my Arizona blonde, the Phonopelma calcodes. Down here I have a mature male Ceratogyrus starlingi, although there's no way you can see in there because he has webbed the ever-loving crap out of it. And if this will focus in on him, you can clearly see I have tons of springtails. I just recently was using them to put into my new enclosure. Here we have, oh, look who's out. My curly hair tarantula, my Tilitocatl alboplosum. Oops, sorry about that. Down here, I actually have a label, non-duchromatus, and down in here is a Caniscuria geniculata. And back there, I have, I forget what's in that one. I think that one on the top, that critter keeper on the top back there, is my Phonopelma species diamondback, and down underneath it should be my um Theraphossinae species Pura. And then in this container here, I have Fufius species Gold. Oh, no, wait, that's a Grammostola pulcher, or that one's also a Grammostola pulcher piece. And then in the enclosure below it is a mature male. In the pencil box below it is a mature male here. Let me see if I can kind of move this enclosure to show you. Down in that one on the bottom, which by the way, I just made these enclosures myself. The pencil box ones, I just took pencil boxes that you can buy at Walmart, and I just poked holes in them with a uh, metal spike. Anyways, the one below it is a slightly larger pencil box. It's the largest size pencil box you can get. I forget how much they cost, but they're not very expensive. So it's a really cheap, easy DIY enclosures that I made. So I keep rambling on, don't I? So the one on the bottom is, because I'm having a hard time remembering what the one on the bottom is. Bonatina minix, that's right. It was new to the hobby when I got it, and I got it as a mystery species. And here is sadly my last remaining Hapalopus species, Columbia large. Although I believe the name changed from Hapalopus, but I can't remember right now what it changed to. I'm sure somebody who watches this would know better than me. And yeah, it only recently just uncovered its burrow for the longest time. it was blocked up in there, and I decided to check in on it, and it finally unblocked its burrow. And then up here on the top is Yeeg. Oh no, wait, this is my Fufia species gold. Yeah, that's right. This one is my Fufia species gold, which looks really gorgeous. I've got a picture of it on my Facebook account. Down here, I don't believe it's out. No, it's not. This is the Thailand Black Cyropagopus minix. And then it says possibly C. Von Worthy. So it could be a Von Worthy or a minix. This labeling is confusing. But it was $50. And yeah, I didn't really get it from a very reputable source. And I'm worried about that orb in there. But so far it's held up, so I think it should be fine. And here I have my Caribbean versicolor, which is looking really gorgeous and just chilling right out in the open, legs splayed. And in here is my Asian forest scorpion. Although, oh shoot, what the heck? That is a superworm beetle. Hold on, I'm gonna have to get that out here in a minute, because that's not good to have in there. I don't know how the heck that thing got in there. It must have been a superworm that somehow turned into one. But that's weird because I literally crushed the heads of all of my feeders. I literally always crush the heads of the superworms. But I think that they can somehow survive anyways, which is crazy. In here I have my very first ever tarantula. The label is kind of getting worn down. Her name is Morgana. And this is my Vicularia, the Guyana pink toe tarantula. And as you can see, the webbing is crazy. Unfortunately, the cork bark I hot glued to the plastic came off, but it doesn't matter because her webbing is so thick, it literally just, yeah. And I already gave you a preview of what I'm actually going to be talking about in this video. I just wanted to kind of show off all my animals. And here's my ball python's enclosure. And down here, I have a younger male ball python. Hopefully when he gets bigger, maybe he can possibly breed with her. But I don't know, she's a big girl. And then in here, I have Poecilotheria Vittata, the Ghost Ornamental Tarantula. And this one is going to be a special one for a very good reason that you're about to see. And back here I have the orange baboon tarantula. I have the orange baboon tarantula. Once again, I'm kind of blanking on what the scientific name was again, because I'm thinking about the scientific name for this one in this Exoterra, which this one basically just lives under the ground the whole entire time. As you can see, it just dug down. The top is just completely covered up, and it just dug down and dug all around the bottom. It's so funny. And it's hard to actually even open these doors because of how much the dirt's piled up. I should actually just like push it back so I can open up the door or take some of it out. But whatever. This one's the Aphonoplma samani, the Costa Rican striped knee. Dang, I'm still blanking on what the OBT's scientific name is. In here I have another non-duchromatus. In here I don't have anything, I just have plants growing. And I'm gonna have to water this enclosure here in just a little bit. In here I have, you can't really see it because the plastic's very dirty, but there is a Theraphosa. Oh, you can actually kind of see. There's my biggest spider, the Theraphosa stearmy. You can actually kind of see some springtails in the water dish. Yeah, Theraphosa stearmy. And then, hold on. Let me see if I could get a good view. I can't because it's too ridiculous. This pothos in here has grown so out of control. Look at that root. Look at that root. That's insane. This thing is ridiculous. Its root is literally growing along the side of this skull, and it looks freaking awesome. But it's become pretty overgrown. In here I have my hissing roaches, and in here, if I can move this light, I have, he's not out. This is supposed to be a Theraphosis steary. Whoa, that light just, okay, sorry. I'm sorry. This video was not supposed to be this long. Alright, now to get to like the main focus of the video. I do have more spiders, but those are in my bathroom, and I'm not going to go in there. But I recently got an Terra enclosure that was about $170 or so. So yeah, pretty expensive. And it's a special Terra that I believe was done in collaboration with another company called Frogs & Co., I think. Reptiliatus has done videos about the Terra, and it comes with, as you can see, this, nice background that we have here. This really awesome background, and it shows on here like how to even like it's really sponsored and pushing for you to get certain things like the monsoon, which I have ordered, and it's going to be arriving tomorrow basically. I didn't get any of these things though. I did get a custom cut mesh though for the drainage there. I did not need to buy any of this other stuff because I already had it. And I did get the really good, not plantation soil, but I got substratum, which is a really expensive but very, very good substrate system for plants and growing plants. Although what I did was a little bit something unique, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But I first want to show off what I did for my background. I did the uh-oh, I hear a baby crying. Shoot, I need to be more quiet. Anyways, I did the spray foam background, and I planted it with my own plants. As you can clearly see, it's a little bit hard to get the lid off, and also, as you can see, I have plenty of video games. Anyways, this enclosure is still not 100% fully set up yet, but as you can see, I have fake vines made out of ropes, although this tiny rope, I need to put like moss on or something to cover it more. And then I have another rope strung across the back there, and it's kind of hard to make them out now. But I do also have other ropes that I designed to be like fake little vines going down along the sides and stuff, kind of like roots or something. But I had to just like I had to use like metal staples to hold them in place, and I covered that with the super glue and the sphagnum moss. Unfortunately, I don't have a water dish in here because I didn't really have room. I kind of don't like the way that looks back there. That pothos that I have back in that root hollow, that tree hollow back there. It's supposed to be more filled with substrate, but I mean, there is actually a decent amount in there, even though it's kind of hard to tell. Here, let me see if I can turn on a light to make it easier to see. So back there, I have pothos planted in there, and I have Galaxy Falsaralia planted there, there, and uh, back there. And back there, I have a cork bark tube, uh, kind of being held in place by one of the vines. Stop focusing on this close up vine. You see, it's being held back by that vine. I have this, obviously, this giant fern right here that takes up uh, quite a bit of the viewing space, unfortunately, but I feel like it's all right because it'll give the spider privacy. I also put some of that pothos back here in this back corner in the hopes that it will start growing up and out from there too. And as you can see, I also have ivy. I literally, when I was doing the spray foam, after it dried and hardened, I basically took a Dremel tool, or well, not a Dremel, but I took a rotary tool and carved all this foam before applying tons of silicone to it and um basically just coating it in dirt and substrate, and that's how I got this background. I also have, as you can see, uh, a piece of, this is actually not cork bark. This is actually grape wood. I bought this at an expo like 2 years ago, and I hadn't been using it, and I wanted to use it for something, and this was like the perfect thing to use it for because if you can see over here, unfortunately I didn't clean super well in there, but I mean I cleaned as best as I could. I basically get like a little side view here of the cavity for the half the grapewood tube. Um, so basically, if the spider goes in here, I can actually check up on it, which is pretty dope. And it gives it one hide, two hides. So if it doesn't like using this hide, it can use that hide. If it doesn't like using that hide, it can use this hide, or whatever. And this hide has like a bottom entrance. I also have this branch going across, obviously, that I stuck in the foam. This wasn't really supposed to be positioned exactly like this, but I think it turned out all right. And then I also have more of the spear point ivy here, here, here. And then I also have a spider plant here, and I have actually two back there. One that has that little piece of wood bit on it, and then one that's also tucked in a little crevice that I carved out with the rotary tool when I was doing this. I meant I was supposed to position that little piece of cork bark in the background at a higher angle when I was doing it, but I messed up. But it would have taken up even more space if I had done it the way that I was wanting to, because I wanted to make it so it was sticking sort of upward, kind of like a planter, sort of like how I did with this one. This plant, this fern, I mean, is the one I'm talking about, is literally inside of a planter that I foamed in with the spray foam, which I highly suggest doing this if you have a expensive or good enclosure, to make your own background, because it looks a lot better. It does look a little bit cluttered though with this fern sort of in the way, but I also love the way it looks. I also have another order of plants coming, but I don't think I'm going to be able to use them because it's already looking a little bit overgrown here. And then I'm trying to remember what this one was called. This really nice looking one I have right in the middle of my screen with the silvery tint to it. I think it's a kind of peperomia or something like that. I don't remember. Shoot. And I also have added in, you can't really see them, but I just added in tons of springtails and isopods. Um, yeah, I don't really see any of them, but trust me, I tapped in probably like 20 or so uh powder oranges and or 20 or so powder oranges and 20 or so powdered blues should be in here. I don't mind mixing them, to be honest. And then of course, as you saw when I showed off the springtails, there was tons of them. Oh yeah, I also have another pothos just kind of like planted over here too. Yeah. Yep. So this is my project I was working on. So if you think it looks nice, give this video a thumbs up. If you like my room, subscribe and leave a comment below saying what you think about it. Oh, wait. I forgot to explain something. So basically, when I was talking about the substratum, uh, substrate, which is supposed to be like, oh great, I didn't put this on correctly, which is supposed to be like a really expensive substrate that's supposed to be like bioactive and volcanic. I essentially took it in like mesh bags, and so basically here's the drainage layer, and then there's this mesh fabric that's supposed to be the separating drainage layer to separate the soils from the drainage layer. But before I put in any of the soil, and the reason why it's kind of so high up looking isn't because there's a ton of soil here. It's actually kind of a thin layer of soil, which makes me a little bit worried for some of the plants, like this spider plant in the Galaxy Falseralia. But below this thin layer of substrate are these mesh zip bags where the zipper is made out of plastic so it doesn't rust. And I filled them up with the substratum. So that way, if I ever choose to tear this enclosure down or reuse it, I can reuse those bags of substratum or whatever. But I did build up the substrate mixture further back. It gets higher up as you get further back into the enclosure, so that gives more plant growing medium. So hopefully this enclosure will turn out really nice. I know the door is kind of a little bit messy, but hopefully these plants will grow in really well within about a month or two. Hold on, let me turn off the flashlight. Turn off. But yeah, I also am planning on putting in. Where did it go? Wait, where did I put it? It's I had moss. I'm gonna put in live moss as well. Once I get my misting system, and I'm gonna get the misting system set up. I keep opening and closing this lid. I was supposed to have ended this video already, but basically I did leave room, sort of, for the misting system to be installed. So it can be installed, and that way I won't have to worry so much about manually watering it every single day. So I'm going to put in live moss to make it look really nice and bioactive, and yeah. I also have a certain lighting system for it. I bought this at Walmart for like $32. I don't know how good it is. It's probably not that great. And this clamp isn't super great either because the bolt holding this one, and if I could get my finger on it, I can't even do that. The bolt holding this one in place sort of prevents it from going too far, which I actually did. Ay. This is harder to do with one hand than I thought. Oh, I guess I can kind of do it like that. But basically, yeah, this one's like a sort of four-pronged lighting system so that you're supposed to be able to get it from all different lighting angles and stuff like that. but it shows that you're supposed to have it positioned slightly above the enclosure. And then I can turn it on, and it's got like a timer function for it, and it's got like different settings, different lighting settings for different growth or whatever, but I don't really think it matters. And I also plan on doing something about this foam. I plan on painting the sides in the back, except for where the hollow is, so that way it'll be even easier to see in there. But yeah, I'm gonna paint it with like black paint or something. So I got my plant lights in, and yeah, they are positioned a little bit away from it though, so hopefully that's not a bad thing. Anyways, sorry for being so close up to so many lights. I think with that, where's my kitty? Oh, there's my squiddy kitty. Good girl. And good manners. Well, with that, I think it's time to say goodbye. See ya.